Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Pobble Live. We have currently got 15 viewers in the channel, which is a nice starting point. Well done for joining us. If you are here and you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, and you will get notifications whenever we go live. Usually it is on a Wednesday at 5 p.m. However, if we ever do any events in the future that aren't on a Wednesday, you would get a notification for that. Please also put a comment in the chat or place a comment on the video if you're not watching live for a chance to win a prize. If you were here last week and you already put your name into the chat or a comment into the chat, I have the names here with me, and we will be drawing a name out for a prize later in the session. So having a quick look at the chat. Hello, Mr. Keeling. Hi, hello, Mr. Keepling. Mr. Keeling, may I not do flashback 4 and write my English poem onto paper, please? I've got my parents excited. Well, your parents should be excited. It was an excellent poem. I think rather than you having to write that out again, though, flashback 4 is important. So we'll do our flashback 4, but I will photocopy that work so that your parents can see that. Hi, good day, good afternoon. Hello, hello, hello. Why later? Because it's exciting. It's a build-up, isn't it? Thank you. No problem. That's absolutely fine. Okay. Hi. Fabulous. Lots of people in the chat. Brilliant. I think we'll start straight away. Anybody who comes a little bit later can join in. We're up to 18. That's the wrong side. We're up to 18. You can't see how many people are on. I can. It's here for me because I'm live in the control room and the classroom, but there are 18 people. Give the video a thumbs up. It helps the channel. And remember, if you haven't already, please subscribe and press the bell icon. The more subscribers, the more bell icons, the better the channel does, and we can send out when we are live. Okay, let's get going. Pobble Live today. Here we are. Pobble Live today is around or celebrating Earth Day. Earth Day. And we'll have a little chat about what Earth Day is in a moment or two. But first, I have a question to get us started, and you can put the answer into the chat. Here's my question. What effect does plastic have on our planet? Pop it in the chat. What do you think? How does plastic affect our planet? Some answers in the chat. There's more than one. What do we think? Coral bleaching. Now, coral bleaching is something different. Well done, because that's something we learnt about in year 5. But coral bleaching isn't necessarily due to plastic waste. Let's have a look. Fishes are dying. Yeah, it can injure. It can hurt. It can hurt animals in the ocean. Absolutely. What effect does plastic have on our planet? It's killing lots of sea animals, turtles, bags and straws, but not only turtles and fish. Yeah, it's harming animals. It harms seagulls. Absolutely. Anything else? How do earthquakes happen and why? I don't think that's exactly the focus of today's lesson, but it's tectonic plates rubbing together. It gets into the sea. It can go in oceans, and animals can eat it. Not just animals as well. It can get into water supplies, and microplastics can actually get into drinking water as well. Anything else? Yeah, not just the actual damage it does, but it's also unsightly, isn't it? It's waste that's across our planet. Plastic pollution, absolutely. we cook the fish, we eat it, so we're basically eating it. Yeah, microplastics, absolutely. So not a very good thing. And the problem with plastics is they're not biodegradable, and that's a word that we're kind of going to be looking at a little bit today. Does anybody know what the word biodegradable means before we get into it? Does anybody know what the word biodegradable means? Anyone at all? And if you're watching this not live, if you're not live with us at the moment, you can put answers to these questions down in the comments below. Just type out my question, write an answer. That would be really good. Rots away. Absolutely. So basically, if something is biodegradable, it means that it breaks down naturally. Unfortunately, plastic is not one of those things. I mean, it would break down after a very, 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 very long time, but it's not something that biodegrades. It's not something that rots away and we don't have to worry about. Plastic takes such a long time to break down. I believe it's 400 years or maybe even more. It takes a very, very long time to break down. Therefore, it's a real problem with waste. Okay, we're going to move on slightly and we're going to have a little look at what I was talking about, which is what is Earth Day. Now, the actual Earth Day, the celebration of Earth Day has passed. It was this Monday, 24th today, 23rd, 22nd. Yes, it was on Monday, but it's still important. And the things that are raised in Earth Day are also still very important. Wow, we're up to 21 viewers. That is excellent. Please like and subscribe if you can, and put a note in the chat so that we know to draw you for our prize live next week. What is Earth Day then? Well, let's have a little look. I've just gone backwards. That's not what we want. Here we are. I wonder if anyone recognizes this gentleman in the corner. If you do, just pop it in the chat. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about Earth Day. Earth Day is an annual international event. International means with countries all over the world, involving countries all over the world. Annual means once every year. And it is held on the 22nd of April. 22nd of April is Earth Day. Its aim is to raise awareness for our planet and the environmental changes that it faces. Mr. Keeling, have you been practicing that? You read it word for word without even looking. Sorry, I can see myself in the screen. It basically is a day where we think about the environment and we think about what we can do to help our environment. Still looking in the chat. Does anybody know who this gentleman is on the screen? David Attenborough. Got it. David Attenborough. Got it. Fantastic. This is David Attenborough. Does lots and lots of voiceovers for nature documentaries. Used to travel quite a lot as well. He's a little bit older now. I think he's 97, nearly 100 years old. So he doesn't travel quite so much, but he does a lot of voiceovers for the planet. He sounds a little bit like, this is a very interesting animal. Kind of like that, but better. So the first ever Earth Day was held in 1970. Quick maths, can anyone tell me in the chat how long ago was 1970? The first ever Earth Day was held in 1970, and since then it's been recognized by more than 1 billion people around the world. To put that into context, there are about 8 billion people in the world, so that is 1/8 of the entire planet celebrates and recognizes Earth Day. Good impression. Thank you. I'll add that to my roster of impressions then. 54 years ago, 53 years ago, absolutely. If we look at what year we're in, 2024, and then we take 30 years off of from the year 2000, we get back to 1970. So 30 at 24, 54 years. Well done. Some very good maths there. 54. What is your favorite animal? My favorite animal is probably cats, although it's a close tie between cats and dogs. They're great animals. Okay. It is an opportunity for people to show their support for the environment and to come together to take action to help protect the earth. So really, it's thinking about the environment, it's appreciating the environment, but it's also thinking us as humans, as conscious thinking animals, what can we do to help protect our planet and to make sure that we don't damage our planet. That's Earth Day. Why is Earth Day important then? Well, let's have a look. Did you know the current rate of species becoming extinct is up to 1,000 times faster than the historical rate? So basically, extinction means there are no more of that animal. And at the moment, because of the damage that's being done to nature, extinction is increasing. Human activities have increased carbon dioxide emissions by 40% since 1850. This has caused the global temperature to rise by approximately 1 degrees. Now, 1 degrees doesn't sound like a lot, but because of that 1 degrees, the ice caps on our planet are melting at a quicker rate, which is disturbing habitats for animals and is putting these animals at risk, in danger, because their natural environments are disappearing. Climate change is one of the major factors behind the current mass extinction of species around the world. So because the climate is changing, animals are going extinct. And we have a big role to play in that, because it is us that is producing this extra carbon dioxide in the air. And if we are producing it, we need to do something to offset it, to make sure that we are protecting our planet for the generations to come. So Earth Day is very, very important. It's important to realize what we're doing to our planet, but it's also important to realize what we can do to help our planet. This year, the focus, and this has been a focus really because of a David Attenborough documentary. I believe it was called Blue Planet 2, where David Attenborough on the BBC pointed out to the world just how damaging plastic was to animals, and actually to us too. So plastic has been on the radar in terms of environmental action for some time. Can you think of any ways that we have tried to reduce plastic? Can you think of any shops that have stopped using plastic? Can you think of maybe things that we charge money for that we didn't used to charge money for because they're plastic? Can you think of any food places or restaurants that have changed the way that they deal with plastics? Whoa, we've got 26 people watching live. That's really, really good. That's almost a class full. Let's see if we can make it to 30. Like, subscribe. If your parents are with you, please invite them to watch. If your cousins, if your sisters or your brothers are here, please invite them to watch. McDonald's. Okay, can you tell me what McDonald's did about plastic? I agree, they did do something about plastic. What did they do? Oh, the design of bottles have changed. Sprite's design, so the way they're trying to reduce the plastic that they put into their bottles. Absolutely. Not just McDonald's, a lot of fast food places. Yes, paper straws. Absolutely. One of the big things that went was there was plastic straws, and there was a lot of plastic straw waste. Now we have paper straws, because paper, that word before, is biodegradable. It breaks down. And that's one way we're trying, or on a mass scale, we're trying to help our planet. So this year, the Earth Day was based around planet versus plastics. So let's have a little look at what that means. It's all about working together with businesses, governments, and everyone across the world to reduce plastic waste. Because we all know that plastic is damaging to our planet. Absolutely great answer there. We've got plastic bags. They now charge for plastic bags, and a lot of places are getting rid of plastic bags and are bringing in paper bags. Maybe not as strong, but definitely better for our planet. We use trees for paper, and trees give us oxygen. We're talking there a little bit about deforestation, and we might cover that a little bit later on as well. So what we're looking at, and what the focus was this year, is having a sustainable future. A sustainable future means a future that can continue. We can continue to have energy, but we're no longer damaging our planet. So it is sustainable. Sustainable means working and living in a way which ensures there will still be natural resources, food, water, minerals left for future generations. Wendy's. Okay. So our amazing planet, this is why we're here, to celebrate Earth, to celebrate Earth Day and our amazing planet. Our planet is incredible. Nature has provided us with everything that has built the modern society we enjoy. Today, we depend on a rich biodiversity for our health, food, and security. These are some of the amazing things nature has brought us. But pause before I show you some of the amazing things that we get from nature. Can you tell me, please, some of the things that we get from nature? I'll start. We get water from nature, clean, fresh water, which sustains life. It means that we can live. It means that all life on this planet can live. What other amazing things can we gain from nature? Absolutely, paper, and that's kind of going back to that point before about deforestation, as long as it's done ethically. Trees give us oxygen, absolutely, so that we can breathe. What else do we get from nature? Well, those are amazing things, trees and plants, but what can we get from nature? For example, from plants, we can derive medicine. Yeah, we can get medicine from plants to help us feel better. Absolutely, we can have wood so that we can build structures. It's strong. We can build tables and houses. We can gain wood. What else can we get from nature? We can get our food. We can get fresh vegetables, which are really good for our bodies. Absolutely. What else can we get from nature? Fruit, absolutely part of our food as well. Anything else? What can we gather from nature? Honey, very sweet, very nice. Anything else? Medicine, absolutely, as I mentioned. paper, food, oxygen, paper, fruit. The trees save our life because they breathe in carbon dioxide, which saves our life. One of the processes of being a living thing is that we take things from the air. So, absolutely, trees are alive. They do collect in the gas from the air. They take the carbon dioxide and they clean the air and they turn it into oxygen. Flowers, just the beauty of flowers. Oil, so that we can use. Now, that's a fossil, that can be a fossil fuel, and a fossil fuel isn't necessarily good for our planet. But so stone for buildings, absolutely. So shelter we can take from nature. Sand, which has a multitude of uses, including creating glass. Honey from bees, absolutely, and it's important that we look after our bees. Okay, let's have a look at our PowerPoint and see what that suggests. Wonderful things we can get from our planet. So, as we've mentioned, many medicines were originally created from plants. For example, aspirin, which is a widely used painkiller, is actually an extract from willow bark, so taken from a willow tree. Its use was discovered by ancient Egyptians, and it is now produced with chemicals in labs around the world. So, medicine derived from plants. What else? Food. Absolutely. Our food comes from our planet. So our food depends on natural systems, on life cycles, on plants growing. All of our food depends on nature. We need our natural world to provide us with our food. So all our food depends on natural systems, from the growing of crops in the soil to the water we rely on throughout farming and industry. Crops that are at least partially pollinated by animals make up 35% of food production around the world. Now, that is important. Pollination is important. Without pollination, we wouldn't have 35% of our crops, nearly getting close to half of our crops, which means that we need to protect the animals that pollinate, like bees, for example, and make sure that we are kind to the animals around us that help us in that way. The air, this was mentioned as well. Trees play an important role in helping us keep our air clean, removing that carbon dioxide, especially because we are producing so much. Now, if we are talking deforestation, which means cutting trees down so that we can get certain resources like wood, for example, or medicine from trees, cutting those trees down means that we're removing trees that are removing that carbon dioxide. And if we are removing those trees that remove that carbon dioxide, there's going to be more carbon dioxide and there's going to be less things to create oxygen on our planet, which is not a good thing. So there are projects that are currently working on reforestation where trees are being planted. Some companies now, for every tree that they cut down in their business, they plant a tree to offset their carbon usage, or they plant more than one tree to replace the one tree that they have cut down. So thinking about our environment, thinking about the damage that plastic does, but also the damage that carbon dioxide, using too much energy, can do to our planet, can we think in the chat, what good things can we do to help our environment? Mr. Keeling, can butterflies make butter? No, but they sure look pretty as they flutter by. Okay. We can protect the bees, absolutely. So don't swat at bees, protect the bees, and we help them if they need it. We can protect our bees, absolutely. That's a really good start because they are one of the leading pollinators. You can get paper from trees, so use more paper. Using paper, absolutely, but we've also got to think about deforestation. We don't want to be cutting down too many trees. What else can we do? Don't litter. So litter, absolutely. So no littering. We don't want to litter because if we do litter, sometimes that litter that we throw down is non-biodegradable. It can't break down. So that litter just stays there and damages our planet, might find its way into the oceans, might find its way to animals who might get hurt by our litter. Absolutely, no littering. What else do we have? Don't cut down trees. Absolutely. So protecting habitats, protect habitats. Protecting animal habitats so that we have a range of animals on our planet and our planet is biodiverse. What else? Educate others, absolutely. Education is something that we can do. Explaining to others exactly why we need to do this and what we are working towards. Anything else that we can do for our planet? Does anybody know the slogan? The slogan 3 R's, that has something to do with protecting our planet. Oh, I love that. Transport. Absolutely. Transport. So thinking about how we travel, is it absolutely necessary to get in a car, or can I take a bus and share the ride? Can I get on a train and share the ride? Or can I walk? Absolutely. Reuse and recycle. You've got almost all the R's there. So I said 3 R's. We've got reuse. We've got recycle. But there was one more. Reuse, recycle, and there's another R. Does anybody know what that one is? Stop wasting water. Absolutely. Water waste. Some brilliant ideas. Well done, everyone. We've got the extra word. Reduce. Reduce how much we use. Reuse anything that we can. And anything we can't, recycle so that it can be used again. But it is better to reduce and reuse because even recycling takes up energy. Anything else? What about things you can do at home? What about things you can do in your own house right now? What could you do? Let's see. Craft, yeah, so you can learn how to craft or grow your own vegetables or do anything like that. Try and buy products that don't use plastic, or be thoughtful when you're buying. So be thoughtful. Be thoughtful about your purchases. Buy things that are ethical. The more that we buy things that are ethical, the more the companies will listen to us and will start making products that are ethical. Stop leaving the tap on. Yeah, invest in greenery, invest in our green areas, plant more trees, plant more plants. Absolutely. What about electricity? Buy things that you need, not always what you want. Think about what you need. Food waste comes under this. Think about how much food you actually need for your week. If you're throwing food away, that's waste. It's been produced and we don't need it. Turn lights off, absolutely. So you turn off the lights, save electricity when you don't need them. Turn off the lights. Is there anything else we could turn off to make sure that we're saving electricity and energy? Only shower for a bit, yeah. So don't waste too much water. Anything else? Do you know, I think that's a pretty good list. So we've got protecting our bees, paper, don't litter, protecting habitats, so reducing deforestation, being thoughtful, the way that we get around, transport, thinking about that. Do we use a car or do we walk? Education, so teaching others and teaching younger people about the importance of looking after our planet for future generations. Reduce, reuse, and recycle, and the importance of the first two, so that we don't have to recycle. Water waste, don't use too much water. Using, that's a very good point, the washing machine. How often do you need to use a wash? Can you combine things so that you can do washing machines or washes together? Absolutely good. And consider your own carbon footprint. Think about how much carbon I am producing. Really, really, really good answers there. Well done. Okay, so let's have a look at the PowerPoint. Let's see what that suggests and see how many of these we got. So here are some ideas. Here are some ideas. So invest in your local area. So spend time looking after the place that is all around you. Try to reduce car travel. We got that one, transport there. Try to choose more local, seasonal food. If food doesn't have to travel a long way to get to you, like in the big supermarkets, if you are choosing sustainable local food grown by local farmers or grown locally, because it doesn't have to travel, because there's not big lorries taking it to places, that reduces carbon. And then this one that you've got up here is there as well: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Looking at that then, reducing the amount of rubbish you produce means less waste. Rubbish, such as plastic, takes hundreds of years, I was right, about 400 years, I think, to break down and can end up polluting the land and oceans. In fact, anything that doesn't break down and isn't recycled sometimes ends up in something called landfill. And landfill is just piles and piles and piles of rubbish that's just on our planet. Just big, big mountains of rubbish that will take years and years and years to break down. It ends up there in landfill, doing nothing except polluting our planet. Try to find ways that you can cut down on the items or extra packaging that you buy. So just think, when you're out and you're buying something that you need, is this one packaged in a way that's sustainable? Is this looking after our planet? Or is this one a better option because it's more ethical? It is going to be something that is a better choice for our planet. You could do things like buying loose vegetables. And a lot of vegetables these days in supermarkets are loose. You go in and you can just select the vegetables that you want. I remember not too long ago, before we realized how bad plastic was, where everything would be in a plastic bag. Potatoes, carrots, onions, broccoli. And, you know, to some extent, they still are when they don't need to be. Yeah? So it's making the choice. I'll get my vegetables without a plastic bag. Thank you, because the plastic bag does nothing. You can give clothes to charity. That's a really, really good idea. I'm going to add that now. That might be answer of the stream. We could give clothes to charity, and that is reusing, isn't it? So it's already been made, rather than somebody having to buy a completely new shirt or item of clothing and create carbon by it being made and transported. We could go to charity shops or donate to charity shops. And give people our old things, or pass it down to other people, or sell it at a charity event. Fantastic. You can make your own clothes. What a great idea. Some really, really good ideas here. Yeah. With materials that you have. Fabulous. Grow your own tomatoes. Have a greenhouse at home. Eat your own fruit and vegetables. Learn how to do these things. It's exciting to do these things. So why not learn? You can also try to buy products that can be used over and over again, such as reusable drink bottles. So metal bottles, really good idea, because then you don't have to keep buying plastic bottles of water. Reuse. Before you throw something away, think about it. Before you just chuck something away, can I reuse this? Can it be repurposed? Can it be for something else? Or could somebody else reuse this? Donating or selling clothes, that was the idea we just had. Charity, which I really like, which helps people. Really, really great idea. Is a great way to do this. You can even create brand new items such as bird feeders, plant pots from waste plastic bottles or containers. Get creative. Make a present for your teacher. Yeah, a plant pot out of a plastic bottle that you were going to throw away. Put a nice plant in it. Take it to your teacher and say, you can thank Mr. Keeling. It was his idea. Recycle. Recycling materials uses less energy than making brand new materials. But as I've said, it's better to reduce. It is better to reuse, because it still does use energy to recycle, and therefore still creates a carbon footprint. Did you know that most of the packaging you buy things in needs energy to produce it? So anything that has been made requires energy, which gives off carbon. A lot of our energy comes from burning fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and natural gas. This process releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, then traps heat and contributes to climate change. So because a lot of these products are made using these fossil fuels, which create carbon dioxide, we are releasing more and more carbon dioxide into the air. There are, however, sustainable ways. Sustainable, there's that word again. We can use it again and again and again without damaging our planet. That's sustainable ways. There are sustainable ways of creating energy for our planet. Does anybody know any sustainable ways of creating energy? What kind of energy? So energy that powers everything that we use. Yeah, electricity. Does anybody know any ways that we can get sustainable energy? That we can generate electricity and we can generate energy that doesn't damage our planet? Potato. To some extent, yeah, you can use it, but that's not really sustainable. It wouldn't be able to be used over a long, or it wouldn't be able to be scaled up to be useful. But yeah, potatoes to power a clock. Wind, there's a good one. So wind can be used using those large wind turbines which turn to generate energy. Absolutely. So wind energy is one that is sustainable. Can anybody think of anything else? Hydroelectric plants using water, absolutely, can generate energy. So water, wind. Solar power, can't speak. Solar power, absolutely, using solar panels to generate energy. All of these are examples of sustainable energy use that we can use again and again without damaging our planet. Fabulous. Great ideas. Some things to ask yourself about travel and transport. Can you cut down on car journeys? Is there a way? And be more active as a traveler. Transport now accounts for about a quarter of greenhouse gases. So the ones that are warming up our planet, a quarter. So think. Can I get on public transport? Can I share the ride? Can I walk or cycle or go scooting or skateboarding or whatever cool way there is of traveling? There's the hoverboard where you lean forward. There's the Segway, which isn't that popular anymore. Or car sharing. If you absolutely have to use a car, is there a way that you can share a car with other people? In 2021, there were 32 million cars licensed in just the United Kingdom. Just our collection of countries here in the United Kingdom, the 4 countries: Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and England. 32 million cars. So can you imagine how much carbon that is creating, because they do burn fossil fuels? However, we now have electric cars that are more sustainable. And that's what we're moving towards at the moment. The food that you eat can also have an impact on the planet. Did you know that 20% of greenhouse gases in the UK come from feeding the population? So getting food to us also contributes to that carbon. So ways that we can help that is by eating locally and making sure that our food doesn't have to travel far to get to us. Final thing, investing in our local area. Things that we can do to help in our local area. We can go on a litter pick. Litter is harmful to animals and pollutes the environment, so picking it up. And actually, in my class today, we had a show and tell where the children were inviting children across the school to help them in a litter picking club. It's drop-in, so if you see Year 5 children going around litter picking, please feel free to go and help them out and help our school environment too become a better, greener place. Volunteering to plant trees and wildflowers. So that's what we talked about earlier, enhancing our natural area by planting more greenery. The more greenery we have. Yeah, join the club. Absolutely, good idea. We can share awareness. That's what we said about educating people. We can educate people to make them understand what challenges we face and why we need to deal with this now. We can create wildlife-friendly habitats. I don't know about you, but in my garden, we've got a water table for the birds, and we've got a bird feeder. I mean, I've got 3 cats, so we tried to discourage the birds from flying too low because the cats like the birds when they're flying around. But we provide these habitats for the birds so that they can come, they can feed, they can feel safe. Think about your local area. Think about if you've got a garden, what you could put in that garden to help the local wildlife. Think about what is just around you and how you could support it. There's lots of charities out there that require volunteers and help. So if you're interested in the environment, it's something that we can all get involved in. Okay, we're going to move on to our actual Pobble task then. So we've learned a lot there about the dangers to our environment, and we've talked about lots of ways that we can help our environment. And if you're writing this now, you could always pause here and get this list down to help you, so you know ways that we can protect our environment. But what our core piece of work is going to be about is we are going to be designing a campaign. And a campaign is like a way of advertising to people and getting everyone involved with a message. The message that we are driving is about Earth Day and about protecting our planet. And we are going to design 3 things that will help our campaign. The first is a poster, the second is a slogan, and the third is a how-to guide. Okay? 3 things that work together to create a campaign. A big advertisement to say, stop, let's look after our planet. Let's look at each. We're going to focus mainly on the how-to guide at the end, but we'll talk very quickly about the others. So what problem is the Earth facing? Well, this is what we're going to be combating. The problem that the Earth is facing at the moment is a rise in carbon dioxide, a rise in plastic and waste that is damaging our planet because we're not using sustainable energy. So carbon dioxide is rising, temperatures are rising, animals are becoming extinct. We need to do something about it. Remind me then, because part of this is to make a poster detailing all of the things that we can do to help our planet. What are the features of a poster? What are the features of a poster? I'm going to get rid of this, but remember, you can always go back in the video and get this list, or pause it now to write the list down. Can you think of any ways, any features, sorry, of a poster? We've been over a poster very recently in Pobble Live, so I wonder if you remember the features. Not potatoes. That's not a feature of a poster. Visuals, yeah, so pictures. Pictures, diagrams. What else do we need on a poster to draw people's attention? Because that's what it is. It draws people's attention. What are the features of a poster? Persuasive language. Yeah, absolutely. So that's using words like imperative words or emotion words to try and get people to do what you're asking. So don't you? You must help the planet, and then giving them a list of things that they absolutely must do, and then using that emotional language like catastrophe, disaster, things that might affect people's emotions and might want them to help. Color, absolutely, bright, big, bold, and bright. Make it eye-catching. That's one of the main things about the poster. Make it bright and colorful, and then once you've got their attention, you fill it with factual information, so they know what they can do. And you explain what the poster is about. So we've got pictures, diagrams, we've got persuasive language, we've got bright, big, bold colors, we've got titles, we've got factual information. Anything else that we've got? Slogans can feature on it. What else could we get on there? Anything else? Rhetorical questions like, don't you want to help the planet? Wouldn't you want to see us in a nice home, a well looked after place? Absolutely. Lovely ideas. Few there that you can start with. Few that we've talked about. If you want to work on your poster now, or you're watching this video after it's live, you can pause there and you can start creating your poster. The factual information will be what we're doing to damage the planet currently, or what is damaging the planet currently, and what we can do to help it. Okay, as part of our campaign as well, we're not just going to design a poster today, we are also going to try and come up with our own slogan. Now, a slogan is something that is used in advertising or passing on information to get information to stick in people's head. We've looked at a slogan today, the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. That is short and to the point to get into people's heads. It could use alliteration, which that one does. It could use a rhyme to get into people's heads. Yeah? If you don't drop litter, the planet will glitter. I don't know, something like that. You could use a rhyme. You could use alliteration. Let me have a think. Earth. Oh, I can't. It's not there. Can you help me? Alliteration that we could use about looking after our planet. We could use poetic features in our slogan. Yeah. We've got the refuse, reuse, recycle. That's that is alliteration. Different. Can anybody think of something short and snappy that we could use to describe this campaign? Very, very short, maybe 2 or 3 words or 4 words that could, maybe it's just help our planet. Yeah? Help our planet. Or our planet needs us. That's using the emotions, isn't it? Earth equals energy. Earth equals energy. Earth equals energy. Energy equals earth. Yeah, that could be. I mean, you've got the alliteration there, but then how do we relate that to the idea? Say no to plastic. Yeah, absolutely. Say no. That's a classic slogan. Say no to plastic. Yeah, you could have someone pointing at plastic, naughty plastic. The rule of three, that could be used to persuade. We could have three things like reduce, reuse, recycle. Catch it, kill it, bin it. That was one when we were trying to get rid of germs back in the COVID, but back in when we were in the pandemic. Just Earth is amazing. Earth is great. Earth is fantastic. Let's protect our planet. Protect our planet. A little bit of an alliteration there with the polite protect and planet. Come up with a really snappy, good idea that covers what you are trying to say. Yeah. Pesky plastic. Or let's say goodbye to plastic, or goodbye plastic, off you go plastic, let's get rid of plastic, plastic be gone. Something short and to the point. Earth does not need people, people need Earth. Absolutely, that's a really good sentiment, isn't it? Yeah, and we can use that. Earth does not need the people, people need the Earth. That's a really good idea. Let's get enthusiastic about Earth. I like that. We are enthusiastic about our Earth. Wonderful. And if you can think of your own big bold letters, maybe on your poster, I'd like to see your slogans in your book. Finally, the final part is we are going to do a how-to guide. So you're going to have a poster, you're going to have your slogan, and then you're going to very clearly tell people exactly how to deal with the problem. So first we need to provide the problem, and then we need to introduce the steps to solve it. So what we would do in our how-to guide, we would start off with the title, How to Protect Our Planet, or How to Save Our Planet, or How to Get Rid of Plastic, or How to, whatever your campaign is. That's your title for your how-to guide. How to protect our planet. Then we need to detail the problem. I would write problem, perhaps a colon, and then mention the problem. There is too much plastic waste. Carbon dioxide levels are rising. Global warming. And then the how-to guide will give us a list of points or a list of ways that we can address it. Now, that could be with numbers. Number one, reduce, reuse, recycle, and then explain what that is. Number two, transport. Use less cars, use less air travel, try and travel in sustainable ways. Walking, cycling, jogging. It's good for your health too. You could do it with dashes, so it could be done with numbers. Let's go back to our how-to, guys. So it could be done with numbers. So you write the number, and then you write what you're talking about. So that one's reduce, reuse, and recycle. And you can put a little dash by that, and you can talk about what that means, give a definition, tell the people that are reading how to solve it, how to do this, how to solve the problem, how to do this. Could be numbered, could be bullet pointed. So you might put bullet points instead, a list of bullet points to make your point, or could just be dashes that form bullet points like that. So that you're presenting information in a list and you're telling people how to solve these problems. And you know how, because we created a whole list of how to do it. We created a whole list of how to do it. So here's the problem. And we can all write this problem. There is too much plastic in our oceans. You might choose a different problem. You might say, my problem is carbon dioxide levels are rising. My problem is global warming is happening and the ice caps are melting. Then I would say how to solve it. And like I did, I would make a list, either with numbers, bullet points, or with dashes. 1, ensure all plastic waste is properly recycled or reused. 2, choose plastic alternatives. 3, educate others about the danger of plastics. And here again, I am using my imperative verbs. Ensure, choose, educate, telling people exactly how to do it. So, today's task: create your own advertising campaign to persuade people or to inform people how to protect our planet. Here's a word bank that I'm going to go through to help you. And then, once I have, we're going to draw our prize. So here we go. Planet, environment, so the world around us. Our world, the planet Earth. Caring, natural conservation, looking after our planet. Refuse, reuse, recycle, repurpose. Rot, so that goes with biodegradable, about things that can break down. Carbon emissions, the carbon that we are creating in the air. Climate change, so that's the temperature rising and places, habitats being destroyed or changing. Crisis, something bad is happening. Compost, so that is using biodegradable materials, collecting them, food waste, so that we can enrich our soil with nutrients and we can grow new things. Fossil fuels, the fuels that produce carbon dioxide. Global warming, the rising of temperatures. Landfill, those places that I told you where we keep waste. The ozone layer, the protective layer around our planet that can be damaged by our actions. Plant-based means food that comes from plants, or cosmetics and shampoo and all of those things that we use that could come from plants as well. Reforestation, replanting forests. Deforestation, destroying, removing forests. Renewable energy, so things like solar, wind, like we discussed, and waste. A good word bank there to get you started. Okay, as mentioned, if you've commented in the chat today, you have a chance of winning a Pobble Prize. But let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay. Right. Whoever is on this form tomorrow, the head teacher or the deputy head teacher will be able to give you your Pobble Prize. And then next week, anyone who's been in the chat will be able to have a Pobble Prize too. So the person who has won this week is a big well done to, and we'll see if you're in the chat right now, but a massive, massive well done to this person. Imogen, you are this week's Pobble Prize winner. A massive well done to Imogen. A massive well done to everybody who has been on the channel today. And next week, we'll draw a new Pobble Prize. Take care, and I'll see you again next week.